Hello and welcome to today's coronavirus pandemic update video for Wednesday, August 24th, 2022. 92.05% of the country is at high transmission of COVID cases. Substantial makes up 4.35% of the cases. Moderate makes up 2.14% of the counties. Low makes up 1.46% of the counties. We've got a lot of data to get through today. So next we'll get to the variant proportions. And 88.9% of the cases, the BA.5 variant. BA.4.6 is 6.3% of the cases. BA.4 is 4.3% of the cases. BA.2.12.1 is 0.5% of the cases. Speaking of today's cases, let's check them out, shall we? Today there were 149,972 new cases, which is a lot, but keep in mind on Wednesdays, it's the day we tend to see the most amount of states report with weekly reportings and cases in general. Deaths today is another result of that. 827 deaths were added today. That's a lot of deaths. 642,633 new tests conducted. That's good, but on a Wednesday I like to see that closer to 1 million. Or as close as possible, and that's a far ways away from it. Take a look at hospitalizations. 38,922 people are hospitalized. That's down by 126. 4,711 people are in the ICU. And that's up by 16. Now, speaking of positives, we did hear that there is another positive in the White House. First Lady Jill Biden had a Paxlovid rebound case. And what that is she had her initial course of Paxlovid, and now she rebounded and tested positive again. And they're continuing with the narrative that only 5 to 8% of the people get a rebound case. Here's the deal. That's not true. It's probably much higher than that. We don't know how high it is, but think of it this way. Not everyone is getting tested as frequently as the president, the First Lady, or anyone in the White House, Senate, in politics. So the average person's not going to think to get tested again to see if they're having a rebound case, especially if they're having no symptoms. But what we do know is, if you test if you had Paxlovid, okay, and you're having a rebound case, but you're not tested or anything, or even if you do test positive, your viral load or your transmission is just as great as your initial case. So if someone's standing next to you for a really long time and you're positive and you don't know that you're positive because you didn't test, chances are they're going to have a case of COVID. And if they get a high viral load from you, they could have a severe case of COVID. Alrighty, continuing on here and going back to the deaths for a second, I want to point this out. I just saw this today. Estimated excess deaths reported versus reported COVID deaths from March 2020 to August 2022. Look what's been going on since the spring. That pink creamish color line, that's the CDC reported deaths. The blue line, that's the actual excess deaths. Look at this. The actual excess deaths all of a sudden are going straight up. And that's indicating that we're almost back to really 1,000 deaths a day versus the 500 deaths a day that the CDC says we're at. So if you want to go by excess deaths a day, yeah, CDC official count, we're missing a lot of deaths, and the deaths are closer to 1,000 a day now. That's really bad, considering we are now past 2020, past 2021, and approaching fall of 2022. You would have expected at this point that this number would be lower, and instead it is continuing to go up. And we have to go through the winter season where viral load with coronavirus cases is much higher and cases tend to be more severe in the winter. So this is a very troubling sign, considering the colder months are just ahead, right around the corner. Fall and then comes winter, all those outdoor activities. But anywho, let's get into some states' cases today. We won't do all of them because there's a lot of data to get through today. Texas added 7,400 new cases. Florida added 6,600 new cases. New York State, remember, they do the reinfections on Wednesday. So that's 11,824 new cases. And we'll get to the actual number of 24-hour cases in a moment. Illinois added 3,500 new cases. Pennsylvania, for some reason here, it's saying 17,390 cases. And I think B&O just switched over to reporting Pennsylvania once a week, which would That would be correct. I believe that's what we reported in our state today. I haven't actually seen it, but I'm assuming that's our weekly number, 17,390, which is a good bit lower than last week. So I'm pleased with that. And it's still too high, but I'm pleased that it's dropping. North Carolina, 23,814 cases. Georgia, 23,423 new cases. And these are weekly numbers. North Carolina and Georgia, that's a weekly report. New Jersey, this is not a weekly report, and this is a little bit higher than normal. 5,137 new cases reported in the last 24 hours, I believe that is, for New Jersey. So, troubling. That's the highest I've seen for New Jersey in a while. 3,600 new cases in Tennessee. Arizona, weekly number 8,500 new cases. Virginia, daily 2,900 cases. Indiana, 5,700 cases. Wisconsin, 1,800 cases. Louisiana, 2,200 cases. Skipping down here to another weekly one, 5,000 in Kansas. Any more weeklies? Yes, Vermont. Vermont had 543 new cases today. And I wanted to click on to Vermont because Vermont is one of the farther north states that tend to get colder faster. And look what's happening in Vermont here. Last week was 447. Today, 543. Vermont's starting to trend up. And also, I want to show you this. August 21st, hospitalizations 31, up by 1. Down by 4 on the 22nd to 27. But look what happened yesterday. Up by 14 to 41. Today, up by 4 to 45. Vermont hospitalizations are starting to take off here. And that's something I'm going to be watching over the next coming days because that's an indicator they're further north. So remember, they're going to get the higher viral load sooner before the rest of the states. And that's something that's starting to concern me. If they're seeing more severe cases early on with the colder weather, that translates to a bad picture down the road for the rest of the country. And it's something I'm going to be watching very closely, and we're going to be clicking on the far northern states more frequently to see what's going on. All right, HHS hospitalizations real quickly. Today the HHS is reporting 39,271. That's up ever so slightly. 75.54% of all beds are in use, and 5.64% of beds are being used for coronavirus. Real quickly, looking at the Walgreens map, 35.6% positivity nationwide. You'll see some places are trending higher. Good bit of areas are trending lower. For some reason, Vermont is trending lower, and they don't have more testing. I don't get what's going on there, because as you just saw there, hospitalizations are indeed increasing in Vermont, which indicates the prevalence of coronavirus is increasing there. Texas, real quickly, 41.5% positivity by Walgreens. Speaking of Texas, the molecular tests today are 24.1% positive, antigen 13.44% positive, and the hospitalizations in Texas continue to drop. 2,714 people in the hospital. New York State, 24-hour cases today are 4,632 with a 7.9% positivity rate. New York State hospitalizations are dropping. This is good news. So yesterday they reported 2,459. Today that's dropped to 2,420. Taking a look at the worldwide picture today. I know, I need to get an ad blocker. But any clue, India, 8,356 new cases. France, 21,000 new cases. Brazil, 18,277 cases. And 190 deaths. That's not good. South Korea, 139,165 cases and 63 deaths. Italy, 25,388 cases. They have stable, and they're actually slightly starting to rise again. So I am questioning maybe the 2.75, BA.275 variant might be starting to take over there. 112 deaths there today as well. Japan, another 194,000 cases, another 194,223 cases, and 317 deaths. They're approaching record territory for deaths. Real quickly, looking at the total deaths, they currently rank at 27th place. And maybe not this week, but next week we are expecting them to hit 26 and then eventually 25th place. All right, quickly, the monkeypox outbreak. Monkeypox outbreak continues to worsen around the world. Currently, there are 45,848 cases around the world. The United States today reported 694 cases. I actually thought that would be closer to 1,000 because of what's going on in California, but it's not. 160 new cases reported in Brazil, 21 in Germany, 50 in Peru, 38 in Canada, 60 added in Chile. And speaking of California real quickly, check out this chart that I saw on Twitter. Yeah, back on the 16th, or thereabouts, late July, mid to late July, it started going faster and faster. And look what's happening here. This is the linear scale, and it is really going up with no signs of slowing. This is a bad sign, and I'm telling you, we are missing so many monkeypox cases around this country. I mean, doctors are saying, oh, it could be this, could be that, and they're not even thinking monkeypox, which is a problem. It really is. I mean, our real cases, we're probably easily at 1,000 cases every day in this country. New York State, or New York City today reported, I think, only 16 cases. I mean, I hope that's true because some parts of the other world have slowed down, but give it a few more weeks. I can't buy into it yet. It's too soon. It's just much too soon. There are so many unknowns about this. Schools are just starting. Let's see what the fall brings. If a month from now cases were to be dropping, okay, maybe I'll agree with it. But right now, no, I'm not. Alright, that's all I have for today. Sorry the video is a little bit longer, but as you saw, there's a lot of data out there on Wednesdays. Thanks for watching, and stay safe, everyone. Please wear a mask when you go out to the grocery store or any social gathering or anything. And wear gloves to get gas and get groceries. Alright, stay safe. Thanks for watching. And remember, we're all in this together. Please hit the like and subscribe button down below, and I'll see you next time.